Man, I'm not remembering the history, and I'm only looking forward now. Sean Payton to the Dallas Cowboys needs to happen immediately. And Jerry Jones, you've made stranger things happen. You got to find a way to trade for and acquire Sean Payton because the Saints still own the rights to him. If the Cowboys acquire Sean Payton, I will go as far as to say Dak Prescott will win a Super Bowl in Dallas before he retires. If the Cowboys acquire Sean Payton. Sean Payton's sale is the fourth winningest coach since 2006 when he left the Dallas Cowboys to become the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Oh, by the way, he instantly became the AP Coach of the year he left the Dallas Cowboys. Sean Payton's departure from Dallas, I would submit, Jerry Jones' biggest regret. Many would say Jimmy Johnson. But remember, Jerry Jones built up a Super Bowl roster and won Super Bowls both with Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer after Jimmy Johnson. However, Jerry Jones has again built up Super Bowl rosters in the Dallas Cowboys, particularly 3 years, 2014, 2016, and this previous year, the 2021 season. But no Super Bowl to show for it. Why? Because he does not have the fearless leader at the head coaching position. If Sean Payton winds up in Dallas, the Cowboys will win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott and all of that talent around him. You got 5 Pro Bowlers. You got 3 All-Pros. You still got 2 beasts at the offensive line. You got a quarterback who's competent enough to get MVP votes during the course of a season. You got 2 top-flight receivers. You got a pass-catching tight end. You got a run-blocking tight end. You have all the pieces you need offensively. The Cowboys' issue is they don't have the combination of an offensive genius and a great game manager. They have an offensive wizard in Kellen Moore, but Kellen Moore too young and he's the offensive coordinator. He's not the game manager. Mike McCarthy is not a phenomenal game manager just as it pertains to the usage of timeouts and understanding critical situations, when to go for it on 4th down, when to run fakes on special teams accordingly. But Sean Payton knows how to do both, and he's shown he has the propensity and the ability to do both. Jerry Jones, find a way to acquire Sean Payton, and I promise you, you will find a way to acquire NFC Championship wins and a Super Bowl.
Oh, my. That's your reaction.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward, all right. Without knowing where you are and how'd you get to this place is we have to look at where you've been. I can't go forward until I look back. Okay. And I got to look back at Sean Payton and his career, and I got to give him respect. I got to give him props for his coaching career, but I also got to highlight some of the issues. Let's be real. Is Sean Payton the man for the Dallas Cowboys job already? 9-8 playoff record already? He had Drew Brees already for the Dallas Cowboys job. Let's talk about that New Orleans Saints job before we get to that Cowboys job he doesn't have just yet. Oh, man. This reminds me of Too Short when he said he was retiring because he just wanted to get out of his contract. He just was like, I'm out. Job records, I'm gone. And then Too Short is still putting out albums week after week, year after year, it seems like, after that retirement. It does seem see-through in terms of this retirement. It does seem like this is going to be short-lived in terms of retirement. I'll give you that, so I understand why you're already connected to the Dallas Cowboys. But you know what I hate about this moment right now, looking at Sean Payton in his career and thinking it may be over, is that when coaches have to coach, coaches be out. Coaches be like, you know what's so crazy? I'm gonna tell you, coach, when it's time to really coach, like buy into my philosophy, buy into my scheme, buy into me, buy into this program, buy into this team. When it's time to now do that, actually execute that, coaches ain't there. You know why? Because what they're really trying to say is if we don't have the horses, we don't have the talent, we ain't gonna do anything. And Sean Payton right now in this moment, this is the time to coach. Look, we understand you had 7-9 seasons, like 6, 7-9 seasons. Okay, that's the floor for Sean Payton. That's the worst he could do. Even this year and all those struggles, they were a winning team, 9-8. But you know what the problem is? Coaches don't want to coach anymore. They just want to ride as jockeys on the horses of tremendous talents, like a Drew Brees, like potentially a Dak Prescott. Or, let's be real, things don't work out in L.A. with the Chargers, they got to get to the playoffs with Justin Herbert. That doesn't work out, that retirement will be short-lived as well as an L.A. Charger head coach. So when real coaching comes up, coaches, peace sign. This is a moment where you look at Jameis Winston, a former number 1 overall pick, who had some highs last year before his injury. Coach him up. Not me. Oh, you got Taysom Hill, which I get. Like $20 million for some backup, gadget kind of player. I understand why that's a head scratcher. Maybe you want to depart from that situation. But damn, Sean Payton, you're such a tremendous coach, which I agree with. Coach him up. But they don't want to do that in this moment. So that's my only issue. your overall playoff record, and when it's time to really do some coaching, peace.
But I got two things. I'm always pro player. Y'all know me. I always am pro player, and I am typically anti-coach. But I think Sean Payton is doing what we all applauded Tom Brady for doing. Wait, Tom Brady, you understood you cannot win in these circumstances in New England. You don't have the talent around you. So let me depart New England and go find a place where I do have the talent around me. Sean Payton will be to the Dallas Cowboys what Tom Brady was in year one to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the missing piece that can take this team to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady went to a Buccaneers team that had 7 wins the year before, but he realized you have a Hall of Fame caliber receiver in Mike Evans. You got a Pro Bowl caliber receiver in Chris Godwin. You got a running back, Ronald Jones. You got defensive beasts. I am the missing piece. Sean Payton goes to the Cowboys. You got an MVP vote caliber quarterback. You got a top 5 pick formerly at running back. You got 2 beasts at wide receiver. You have one of the best young pass rushers in the game. You have a best ball hawking cornerback in the game. I am the missing piece. Sean Payton will be to the Cowboys what Tom Brady has been to the Buccaneers. Sean Payton is he's escaping a bad situation because he understands I can't win in New Orleans anymore. So where else can I go win? Now, we know this. This is the pump fake retirement. This ain't that real, like, man, I'm done coaching.
Yeah, it's too short.
It's that, you know what I'm saying, that Urban Meyer retirement. You know what I mean? Like, let me retire for a hot minute. If there's another situation that I find myself attracted to, I will go there. But, Sel, when you really kick back and think about it, I don't fault Sean Payton, because the Saints weren't going to win no time soon. He knows that. Jameis Winston coming off a torn ACL, and Jameis Winston was already not the most athletic, agile quarterback.
Yeah.
Behind Jameis Winston, you got Trevor Siemian. You also have Taysom Hill. Sean Payton knows Taysom Hill's a great gadget player, not a great quarterback. But Sean Payton, sure, you can get somebody in the draft. Oh, wait. This is the worst quarterback draft class that we have seen since, I believe, the 2014 draft class. So you have to understand that this is not going to be an ideal draft class for you either. Sean Payton, like, man, I'm 65 years old. I'm not just about to sit here and wait around for something. Maybe he's in his 50s, excuse me. But Sean Payton sitting back like, I'm not going to sit here and wait around to try to win another one in New Orleans. Let me go somewhere where I can win one. He has that relationship with Jerry. I think that's the move.
Oh, man, look. I give you this. He watched the playoffs like we all did. They said they couldn't get in touch for a minute. He was off the grid. He was off the radar. He was watching the playoffs. And he was looking at Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And then he just popped in Joe Burrow. Then he popped in his old Saints tape for this year in review. And he said, and then one of his assistants said, hey, man, guess what? And Justin Herbert didn't even make the playoffs. He's like, what the hell is going on here? I give you that. But that's where I stop. I understand that there's a perspective. There's obviously his understanding of what the quarterback position has evolved to and what he has on his roster. And there's a huge gap between the two. But this is when coaching, and this is what coaches got to coach. Let me tell you why. Tom Brady's a bad example. Tom Brady was whispered to in 2014 when they drafted Jimmy G. Your time's up. Belichick found his replacement.
Yes, sir.
Right? So Tom Brady held on for 6 years and won Super Bowls as well. But Tom Brady already knew, hey, it doesn't matter what's going on around me. Doesn't matter in terms of assets. I'm not going anywhere. This is a better example. He's somewhere between Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers in terms of narrative, in terms of legacy. Who is Russell Wilson? Tremendous champion, right? We respect Russell Wilson. Third rounder became who he is, Russell Wilson. But we also know that when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and he wants to go somewhere else. One losing season, and all of a sudden Russell Wilson looking around like, I'm good. Sean Payton, you didn't even have a losing season. You're already like, I'm going to retire and I'll be back. Okay, so you're somewhere between there and Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. How does he like Aaron Rodgers? All that talent. All that greatness. You're a tremendous coach. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, you're a tremendous quarterback. 1 ring? You had Drew Brees, 1 ring. Sean Payton, that's it. Aaron Rodgers, you got 1 ring. And then you look at the playoff records. What's Aaron Rodgers' playoff record? 11-10. What's Sean Payton's playoff record? 9-8. Y'all supposed to be tremendous? Y'all supposed to be greats? And y'all hovering around 500? He's somewhere in that where, why aren't you just going to sit still and take a winning situation back to where it can go instead of going somewhere else and hoping that that situation takes you where you got.
Because I think Sean Payton in this moment is trying to be that meteorologist, that person who forecasts the weather. Just because it is sunny right now, and it's not even sunny, it's cloudy in New Orleans based upon their season this past year. 9-8 didn't make the playoffs. So that's not storming, but it's not sunny. It's a little bit cloudy. But Sean Payton is forecasting, I still don't have a quarterback going into next season because Jameis Winston might or might not be ready by training camp, won't be ready by off-season team activities. But if I'm the Cowboys, I'm looking at it like this. Sean Payton, since 2006, has 168 wins to his name. But we, the Dallas Cowboys, have 149 wins to our name. Sean Payton has 9 playoff wins. We got 3. Sean Payton got a Super Bowl, and we ain't sniffed it since. Keep in mind, y'all, Sean Payton was suspended for the entirety of a season. So he has 20 more wins than the coaches of the Cowboys, and he missed the entirety of a season. Keep in mind, y'all, Sean Payton was coaching the Saints from 2006 up until present day. Meanwhile, Cowboys had Bill Parcells, Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett, and now Mike McCarthy. So Sean Payton has been to the stability of an organization where the Cowboys have had nothing but instability. Sean Payton can come in and be the great stabilizer. So if you were the boys, you got to look at who you got. You look at who you can get. But most importantly, if you're Jerry Jones and you are in your 80s at this point in time and you have done your part, as an owner, you've built up the most valuable franchise in sports. As a general manager, you have built up one of the 3 most talented teams in sports. If you're Jerry Jones, I have done my job. I need a head coach who can do his. I gave him Micah Parsons. I gave him Trayvon Diggs. I gave him Dak Prescott. I gave him CeeDee Lamb. I gave him Amari Cooper. I gave him DeMarcus Lawrence. I gave him Zeke, and if you don't like Zeke, I gave him Tony Pollard. I gave him Tyron Smith, and I gave him Travis Frederick. Now, of all those people I named, I believe the Cowboys drafted every one except for Amari Cooper. So if you are Jerry Jones, you have done your job as a GM, and you have done your job as an owner, but you need a head coach that can do the job, and that is Sean Payton.
And that also is Mike McCarthy. Oh, we're gonna take shots at Mike McCarthy, huh?
I didn't.
Yes, you did, because you're trying to get him replaced. Yes, that's the ultimate shot. Bye. Bow. I don't even want to hear that you're not trying to take shots at Mike McCarthy when you want to take Mike McCarthy's job from him. And take it for what? To replace him with another coach that just won 1 Super Bowl, who has a Hall of Fame quarterback like I did. But those are all blemishes on Mike McCarthy's resume. But they're all positives and beautiful makeup when it comes to Sean Payton's resume. I wonder why, Acho. Make it make sense. I'm not replacing Mike McCarthy to get the same version of him, just a smaller version of him in terms of Sean Payton. I'm not doing that. You got to make it make more sense than just, Sean Payton just seems like a better coach. Well, it seems like it has results, has numbers, has a record, has a resume. And I don't see his resume really out surpassing what I see from Mike McCarthy. So let's talk about why Sean Payton is really retiring. He looked at the quarterback situation, as we talked about earlier. But Sean Payton was already sitting there pretty much looking for that last straw. And it wasn't this year, because they were 9-8. It wasn't this year because of the quarterback situation. I don't think Sean Payton ever got over Bountygate. And I'm going to be real about that. Let's talk about Bountygate for a second, because former players could talk about Bountygate different than those who weren't in the locker room. There was nothing wrong with having a bounty on a player. I'm going to tell you why. I did it. I was the one who was paying the money, and I was the one who was receiving the money, especially my younger years. Run down on kickoff while they knock somebody out. Okay, that was what I was going to do anyway, Coach, but now you're going to put 100 on it? And people are like, why are you going to put money on hurting someone? We're not doing it illegally. We're not doing it unethically. Let me message to fans. Whenever you step on the white lines, somebody going to feel it. And it's going to either be them or you. My message mentally was always, knock his ass out. Now, did I do that? A few times. But the point is, if Coach goes out there, here's one example. I want you guys today to stop the run. Everybody, stop the run. He's just emphasizing that we need to stop the run. Now, same coach says, I want y'all to stop the run, and I give y'all 1,000 if they don't get 100 yards. Oh, my God, everyone's up in arms? That's all about it was. Go get them. Like you already going to go get them. So I think Sean Payton was that kid in class, and this happened to me. Tell me if it happened to you at St. Mark's. Who got caught cheating? I got caught cheating before. Oh, yeah. And you walking out the classroom, you like, yo, the whole class cheating? No. But you don't say anything. You're like, yo, they need to go check them baseball hats. check them calculators, check them palms. Everybody cheating, but you sitting there like, damn it, I can't say that. Boy, that sits in your craw forever. I think that Sean Payton right now is just sitting there like, you know what? This situation is not worth fighting through. I get it. Let's go to somewhere else, greener pastures. Come up here and talk for a living. Come to Fox. Matter of fact, Sean Payton, we make room for you right here. No. Point being, I understand why he left, but if I were him, I'd be staying there trying to make it better.